Girl reports to work on her first day. She was asked by her boss to paint her nails for colors because David, the boss, thought nail color matches the color on the keyboard would definitely improve typing speed. As a result, the girl, Mary, didn't take David's advice. Instead, she wanted to prove to her boss, even without changing the color of her nails, she could type faster. Mary uses both of her index fingers, tapping rapidly on the keyboard. David watched in disbelief from behind him. He finds it a little hard to believe. In no time at all, Mary had finished typing a document. David picked it up and looked at it. A 400-word document word for word. Seeing Mary's talent, David had a bold idea in mind. Just last week David was talking with a friend and found out that the city was soon to hold a national typing competition. The first place prize would be $10,000, so David signed Mary up and promised him that if he could win, he would get a free internship and a straight transfer. A few days later the preliminary rounds began. The contestants had to type 360 words in 1 minute. To pass, they had to type 360 words in 1 minute. No typos or missing words. At this point, Mary is rapidly tapping her fingers on the keyboard, but in the end, 2 fingers can't keep up with the others. As the game ends, Mary has typed 358 words. Mary was eliminated from the preliminary round. When she returned, David advised Mary not to give up. She must train hard for the next competition. In order for Mary to concentrate on her training, David let him move into his own home and let him type with his index finger, because with 2 fingers, there was no way to win the competition. But Mary had gotten used to it, and it was hard to change. When David was out of the house, he would still type with 2 fingers in secret. To help Mary better, David hired a home pianist for him to work on his index finger dexterity, and so Mary practiced every day. David took care of her food and drink every day. As time went on, their relationship grew. Soon the second competition was about to begin. The rules were the same as the first, but this time Mary didn't panic. She tapped away quickly. In the end, she came first with 490 words. Mary made it to the championship round, but this time there was a tough opponent. The other person was a French typing champion. She doesn't give a damn about anyone, because she could type. She could type up to 500 words. Soon the competition begins. The contestants started tapping away at their keyboards. Everyone was nervous. Lucy was the only one who was calm. As the rounds went on, the contestants were eliminated. In the end, only Mary and Lucy made it to the final. Mary was staring at her opponent. It was as if she was telling him that the title was mine. But Lucy was no match for her. She was a typing champion. There was no way she was going to lose to a nobody. As the referee blew the match, the 2 of them were going at a feverish pace of typing. The 2 were neck and neck. Over here David has given up hope of winning the title. Crouching outside, he waited for Mary to come out. Then he heard cheering from inside. Curious, he went in to check. He found out that Mary had won. David was so happy. He wanted to go up and celebrate with Mary, but the crowd pushed him further and further away. From this moment on, David knew that he was no longer good enough for Mary. He chose to leave in silence. The winner, Mary, became famous. His posters were all over the streets. He even signed up for a giant typewriter. The owner of the company was Carl, and now Mary's boyfriend. In a few weeks, Mary was going to represent her country in the world typing competition, so Carl hired a coach for him. But Carl's typewriter was getting worse and worse. The keyboard wouldn't come up when pressed. Mary was always in a grumpy mood when training, and to add insult to injury, Carl had never loved her at all. He just wanted to use his fame to expand his brand. David, on the other hand, on the other side, David was thinking about Mary. The world competition was about to begin, and this time Mary, against the champion of each country, and this American contestant, with 513 words a minute, the last world typing champion. The typing competition begins. The participants are tapping away at their keyboards. Concentration is high. Soon there is a mistake. The Korean prodigy steadies himself. World champion Glasses keeps the lead. Mary is not shying away from catching up. As the race went on, the pressure on the players increases. Soon the German's fingers start to get messy. The Korean prodigy is also getting restless. In the end, only Mary and Glasses made it to the final. The final was a best-of-3 series. Each game lasted 1 minute. The one who taps the most words wins. As the referee announced the start, both players got into shape. The audience cheered for Ms. Glasses. Soon the first game was over. Mary 511 words in 1 minute. 510 words in 1 minute. Mary wins the first game. Just as the second game was about to start, Sister Glasses suddenly said, "Mary is a whore who stepped on men to get ahead." Mary was confused by this comment. Mary couldn't concentrate at the start of the game, but Glasses was calm and collected. In the end, Mary lost the second round. Mary then got up and left the stage. In the back she took out her old typewriter. She wanted to use it to replace Carl's typewriter for the game. At that moment Mary suddenly heard a voice. It turned out to be David. He told Mary to cheer up, and she would beat Glasses. After receiving David's encouragement, Mary's spirits were rekindled. At that moment Carl came to warn him. If he switched to a typewriter race, if he changed his typewriter, he would have to pay the company a huge sum of money for breach of contract. But Mary didn't care about the money, for he was now making lots and lots of money. Soon the third game began. David was cheering him on like crazy, and Mary didn't even look at the typewriter. She kept her eyes on David on the stage. As the game ended, Mary finally beat Glasses with 520 words, and set a new world record, and David and Cobra get together. And that's the end of the film. The film is an instant hit. It's a French comedy. The whole film is full of laughs, but the love scenes are a bit boring. We recommend that single people skip it while watching.